Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's a new week, which means it's a new weekly. I've not done a Disney themed layout in what feels like forever. So this week, and to deal with the big old ghosting that's on the right hand side of the page, I've gone creative and I've gone back to my old school roots and I'm doing the good old Pinocchio. I'm copying this week's doodles from the Pinocchio DVD. I think it was a limited edition a couple of years back, but it has Pinocchio, Geppetto, Figaro, the lovely little cat, and the whale, which I have no idea if they named the whale in the video. Do you know what the whale was called? I want to say Moby Dick, but that's clearly a different book, completely different thing. If you know what the whale is, let me know. When doodling characters like this, I always start with the nose. I'm sure I've mentioned this, but if I do the outline of the whole character first, I'm then completely fixed and I have to make sure every other thing has to fit inside that outline, and it's quite difficult. So I start with the nose, I work out from there, and then I can make sure that, you know, if I do a nose a certain size, then I move on to the eyes and make them the same size accordingly. It's easier. It would have been easier to be able to do the outline first, because then you would know that it would all fit in nicely. Doesn't work out like that with doodling, does it? So I've gone nose first, then I've moved on and filled out the face, and then I'll go for the body and everything else that's there. Hopefully, if you saw my upload this week, I did my July Plan With Me pages, which are all shipwrecked themed with lots of ocean doodles. But because they're quite dark and heavy colours, it's come straight through the page. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to try and mask it as best I can by working with what I've got. So I'm going to use that circle that's come through the page. I'm going to outline that, and I'm going to add Jiminy Cricket, because let's face it, he's got to be, hands down, the best character in Pinocchio ever. So rather than working against the ghosting that's come through, I'm going to try and work with it. So keeping the outline the same, putting a nice big Jiminy Cricket doodle to distract you from the serious amount of ink that's trying to come through the page. I'm going to use this for my weekend writing sort of journaling space. So by the end of the week, once this whole layout is complete, there should be a lot of writing all over it. You'll have a colourful cricket on the right hand side, so the ghosting should slowly start to disappear through the page. It's not going to disappear entirely, let's face it, there's ghosting, but I'm hoping that by working with it and not against it, that we get somewhere. I will do a sort of flip through next week of what it looks like after all of the pens filled in, and we can all make our own minds up on whether or not we fought the ghosting and whether or not we won. We're here again. We're at the lettering stage. The one tip I have for you this week on lettering would be, in order to get your letters and your words central for when you're doodling them, is to count up how many letters are in the word, find your middle letter, find your middle point to the page, and that's where that letter goes. So I drew the word conscience and I started with the C and I wrote shunts. And then I go back in and add the beginning of the word. And as long as my letters are sort of equal sized, it should all then be in the centre of the page. But now on to the best part of any journal layout. I've doodled it, I've outlined, I've rubbed everything out. Now it's time to get on and colour. For Jiminy Cricket, I can go darker and deeper on my colours because I'm contending with that ghosting that's on the other side of the page. So I can do whatever colour I like with him, really. He's fighting against an ocean-themed doodle. I'm using Faber Castell markers. They are a kids set of pens. They come in a pack of 36. I will link them below in the description box. They are on Amazon, and if you're in the UK, they're about £8. Something new this week that I tried, Pinocchio doesn't have blue hair in real life, but I'm going to do it for the cat as well. I'm going to colour the cat fur in navy blue. But the reason I'm doing this is when I'm shading with a black pen, it's a really big contrast between black and a white background. So if I do a navy, just blank canvas, then I can go over with the black, and then the navy becomes this highlight, so it looks like it was black all along, and instead of a white contrast shade, it's a navy blue. So all that's left is just to finish up with the little flourishes to end the layout. But before I end the video, I want to say a massive thank you to you guys. The other week I reached 600 subscribers, which blew me away. It's been such a blast to do these videos. I'm excited to bring more content to the channel. I'm even more excited that I get to speak to you week in, week out and have your support. It's been phenomenal. So thank you. That's all I wanted to say. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are new to the channel, there's a little 600 strong community of us. We would welcome you with open arms. We'd love to have you here. Thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you next week.